Hello and welcome to Chinballs Gaming. I am Scorp, and today I am finally getting round to installing this. This is a 1TB Sabian Rocket SSD. I've actually had this for a while, but I've been too lazy to install it, so I'm finally going to get round to it now. And to do this the easy way, you would probably need something like Clonezilla on a USB stick. You would then obviously need a dongle or a dock with some USBs on it. You would need an external hard drive caddy for the new SSD, or if you have one, a JSOX dock with the built-in SSD in the dock. And then to make your life easier, you would also need a keyboard and a mouse, and then obviously the dongles for said keyboard and mouse. But what if you don't have any of these things? You don't have a keyboard, you don't have a mouse, you don't have enclosures, you don't have a dock, and you don't have any USBs. Well, I am going to try and accomplish this all now just using my deck and simply one of these. This is just an SD card. So if you have any of the other things, then please use any of them. Any or all of them would be best. This is just to show you it can be done with just this. Now, first thing is, I need to get this open. I need some scissors. So originally I'd planned to back up and restore my original hard drive onto the new hard drive so that I wouldn't lose anything. But after several failed attempts, it just wouldn't take. I tried using disks with Fedora, I tried using gparted with Ubuntu, I even tried DD, and none of it would restore the partitions correctly, and it would not boot. So instead I've just decided to start afresh with the Steam recovery image, and I'll just load everything back on. Okay, come to a browser, whichever you've got. So to bring up this keyboard you need to hold Steam and X. Let's download the recovery image. So we're going to type in Steam OS recovery, enter. Move the keyboard away and come to the Steam support page, which will say download the recovery image here, which we will do. I agree and download it to downloads, doesn't matter. Save, and then we are going to come back and we are going to download Etcher, which is here, and we'll click download, and then we need to try and click on the Linux 64-bit version. There we go, and again, download, save, if you can press save, and that is going to download the Steam recovery and Etcher. So Etcher is downloaded, and SteamOS just needs 30 seconds, but we can go to our downloads anyway. And there is our app image for Etcher, and it asks, what do you want to do with this file? I want to execute. Now, if it doesn't come up with this, what you can do is if you hold down with your finger and then let go, it will bring up this context menu. And what you could do is go to Properties, Permissions, and click on the Is Executable here. And then that will also make it execute. Depending on which version of SteamOS you're running, the window will either pop up or it won't. Okay, so, and our Steam recovery image is downloaded, so we can now click this and click Execute. And there is Etcher. So this is just a spare SD card that I have, 128 gigs, it doesn't need to be that big. You can use a smaller one. I did try using this one, but it is quite old, and I noticed it either doesn't boot SteamOS, or it takes 2 hours to load. So it does very much depend on the quality and probably age of your SD card. If you find that the SteamOS is running really slow, it's probably your SD card or USB drive that is going ridiculously slow. You can also stick the SteamOS on a USB stick if you have a dock or a dongle, and it's just a case of inserting this into the deck. So that is now in, and we are going to get rid of that. Go right down. Then select Flash from File, and go to Downloads, Steam Recovery, and click Open. And then select Target, and it may give us a warning. What is the warning? I can't see why it's warning us about that, but that's because it's a large drive, apparently. That's why it's a problem. And select, and then click Flash. You're about to erase an unusually large drive. Yes, I'm sure. So if you haven't set a password yet, what you'll have to do is you'll have to open up a terminal and come and press the Steam key and X, and then type in PASSWD and then click enter, and then that will let you set a password. If you forgot your password, then maybe check this video up here. Try that one first, and if not, then check this one out as well. And then you could maybe reset or recover your password. Right, I already know a password, so I don't need to do this. I can just get rid of it. So close that window. So come back to our password box, and I'll type in my sudo password, which I've set temporary just as Chin. Enter, and then move that down. Then that should start flashing the device. Apparently that is going to take 905 minutes and 18 seconds. That doesn't sound quite right. Let's hope that speeds up a little bit. Okay, that doesn't seem right at all. I'm going to click cancel. I'm going to try again. Okay, so that's either not working or it's taking far too long and it's not giving me any feedback. So what I'm going to try and do instead is I am going to unzip the image first. I mean, it seems to have partially worked because it's created all the drives, but I had no idea if it's actually worked. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extract this. So just extract it to wherever downloads and extract. So that has finally finished. So we can go back to Etcher, we'll cancel that and we'll click on File and we'll select the extracted version. You shouldn't need to do that. I've never had to do that before. So I've no idea why it's doing it now, but let's see if it works any better. And again, select SD card and flash. Yes, I'm sure. It will ask for the password again, Steam and X, and then type in your sudo password, enter, get rid of that, and let's hope it does it a bit better this time. It's actually giving us some feedback now. If I was to guess, the first time it needed to extract the image first and then copy it, and it sort of did that because it created the file structure on the SD card. Maybe it crashed, maybe it was still working, but it wasn't giving any feedback. Either way, this way seems to be working fine now. And finally, that has now finished. So we can close that. And now we need to insert our new SSD. So we need to turn off the deck. So let's go shut down and shut down. Now, of course, you need to remember to take out the SD card first before taking this apart.
So that is it for preparation. In the next video, I will show you how to tear down your Steam Deck and insert the new SSD. Or why not check out my latest video here. Thanks for watching, I hope this helped. Catch you next time.